despite not having power weapon control.
2-kill lead now for Optic Gaming. You can see already the game has slowed down almost to a complete standstill between the two teams. Here's the flank coming in from Stella though, but there's a... Oh! APG! Turns and burns Stella. You cannot lose that one if you're Stella.
Very nice there with the thrust from APG. He's going to take down that battle. Rockets coming up in 26 seconds. Got to talk about a player like APG just dominating all weekend long, and of course Formula as well, anchoring this team. A huge part of that Orlando win, and now setting their sights on a world championship. Formula, the opening is 2-1.
Something to highlight here about APG as well. We've just seen him with that huge BR battle. This man's ability to switch his playstyle, depending upon if it's an objective game type or if they're moving into a Slayer, actually means that he has the highest KD for Optic Gaming in the Slayer game type. So what is normally the support player who doesn't mind doing the dirty work, he'll keep those deaths down and he'll keep those kills up when it comes to Slayer.
That's right, with the Rockets up and Cloud9 able to bring this game back within one. Let's get ready for an Astro listening here on the side of Cloud9.
Dead in one, MPD1, MPD1, MPD1.
Two top tower. Two there. Bottom tower. Live it.
Back PD.
One shot PD. I'm looking Petrie. Look at RV. Can only be one there.
One is on shotty.
He's benches one shot, APG. Where's the rocket? Benches one shot, the guy C stairs.
Okay, we're looking at it.
Bench is dead. Watch out,
Trash.
Driveway weak, formal.
One shot back at me. Trash on me.
Driveway weak. Derail, two there.
Okay, I'm pushing this guy.
Yeah,
I'm looking at his hand.
He dropped. One dead.
Driveway somewhere.
Keep living.
B-rail still.
Keep playing together. Play tight.
Yeah. I'm looking driveway.
They ran away.
Okay.
Yeah, I've stuck.
No, in tires, Kevin.
Yeah, I know.
Arcade and tires on me. Arcade, get behind tires still.
Arcade weak.
I'm pushing arcade out. Watch out, arcade.
I'm one right now to live.
Duck arcade, so one shot.
One shot. Condona days.
Nice shot. Two tires. I shot this one.
Dead in, I'm one shot.
Died. Dead in arcade, I think. Shotgun down B stairs. They're pushing B. They're trying to push into B.
We can be towards ice cream.
Behind you, Ben.
There's a guy C stairs, Kevin.
Naded. One shot from C.
I think they're both on that.
I'm coming in.
One shot red room with thrust.
He didn't die, bro.
As we come back into the game, out of that listening, it's Cloud9 who have taken the control. And as you can hear, it is Eco, the leader. The IGL here for Cloud9, who is just calling the shots, and everyone responded.
Yeah, Stellar stepping out here. He doesn't know that someone's in arcade as well. Somehow he scampers away. No, he doesn't. Lucid with a commando angle. Leaving to Lucid. Kill to be traded out, though, in the end. And lots of pressure from Neon's here and Tires. 4-kill lead still for Cloud9.
One thing that Cloud9 have done extremely well is make sure when they get numbers, they're taking advantage of it. But here's Trippy looking to turn something back into the favor of Optic Gaming. With that kill coming in from APG, it's 4 in the death screen for Cloud9, and now you're seeing just a 2-kill difference between the two teams.
My God, just an absolute tug-of-war back and forth here. What was just about a 6-kill Cloud9 lead after the deficit is now just a 2-kill game. Optic Gaming has brought this back once again. This is how tightly these teams are matched, not wanting to give one another an inch.
And the way back into the game for Optic Gaming was that second set of rockets as well. You saw them in the hands of Formal, picked up 2 kills. And that's now 2 out of 2 power weapon pickups on the side of the green wall. C9 are going to have to look to improve that if they want to make sure this is as comfortable a win as they can find.
Look at this joust, just both teams just playing this slow. They do not want to give up any free kills, not letting any advantage go to the other way. This is one of the slower Street Slayers we've seen all season, and for very good reason. $180,000 on the line in this series alone. That's the difference in prize pool between 1 and 2, and it's a perfect time to get ready for an Optic Gaming listening as they trail by 2.
Have shields.
Make sure we're checking corners.
They push up.
Okay, they're all up, maybe? They couldn't go purple. They couldn't go out. They couldn't go purple. We were not watching purple.
No, I don't think they did. I think they're all in stuff, dude. Deadass.
One shot.
One shot, Brad, one shot.
Okay, listen, guys. I can use stickies for these rockets.
Okay, I'm absolutely, guys. I'm absolutely.
We need to back off. Brad, we need to back off this. Keep your shields, guys. Keep your shields. Don't leave.
Joey's trapped right now, though.
Yeah, Joey's trapped a little bit. Red right now.
Watch what we can do. We can red. There's 2 guys.
Yeah, cuts up shields.
Careful. Rockets, guys.
I don't drop these. Watch my purple guys. You guys watch my purple. Listen, I have rocks.
I got melted from top elk.
Driving on me.
I'm purple.
Tommy, you have rockets, right?
He's just sitting on the purple stairs, Tommy.
He's one shot top out.
One purple as well. Yep, I spawned here.
Already here. Already
We're all
back
here.
in.
They could be purple. Yeah, they're behind us. Help Joey.
No, he has one.
Listen, they're still in sub, guys. They're still in sub.
We'll talk into think back soda.
I'm gonna push out sub. I'm gonna push out
Top
sub.
out or top
we should push some, guys.
Tommy, I'm
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine too. Wait,
Tommy's inside with rockets right now.
One's Ivy. Hold their exit, Joey.
Watch it. Could be in the corner.
Hold their exit, Joey. Hold their exit, Joey.
Watch out.
Nice
one dead.
Another one's here somewhere.
He's back sub. Back sub.
Very weak, guys. See that?
Soccer.
We're weak in Ivy.
Yo, Joey, you're completely alone right now.
Playing soccer.
No, he's watching purple stairs.
Play purple, Joey. Play purple, Joey.
Yeah, we just push up on purple.
I'm absolute.
Okay, we'll get
Trying
him.
to close. I got
He's one shot front sub. One shot front sub.
Three guys on Tommy.
One shot front sub. One shot front sub. All sub. All sub. Front sub.
Yeah.
Trash. Trash and Ivy. Trash and Ivy. Trash and Ivy. That's also trash.
Okay, chill. Calm down.
already pushing me.
One shot. He's one shot.
Absolutely, sir, guys. Are we pushing Tommy?
Caution weak, Brad.
Okay, yeah, okay. Are we gonna start running better together?
Start listening to each other, okay? Start listening. We're good.
Yeah, slow down.
bring this back
Don't move
very
out too
easily.
quickly. Don't move out too quickly.
I have spike nades.
Nothing. Go, Commando, we can go.
I can look at Yo, railing. Cut the trash. Cut the trash.
Weak two. Commando on salute.
He's one bullet.
Commando. Nice. Yo, green jet with the soccer.
Rockets at 20.
Hear that?
Yep, speak. Green jet with the soccer.
It could get
Yeah,
purple.
top
Careful.
heaven.
Yeah,
Looking
come
purple.
on,
Looking
come on,
purple. I'm getting shot. Yo, somebody watch our purple.
Should we make it?
Well, as we jump back into the game, we were listening to Optic, but it's all been Cloud9 since that listening. And it all stemmed from how Optic were almost baited into using both those rockets and getting nothing for it.
Absolutely. Here, look at Penguin just holding down the tires with the Bulldog and just doing all sorts of damage, shield in hand as well, and just keeps pumping and dumping, picks up one. Eventually, he'll be taken down, but still, a C9 5-kill lead, 37-32, Stellar with rockets.
Oh, but Formal's there to meet him. Where did those rockets go? Formal, he's got the Bulldog, but there's a train coming in now, and just on that window shelf like a hot pie from a cartoon are the rockets, and Penguin finds them.
Look at that, rockets down bottom middle, 2 dead for both sides here. It's still just a 4-kill game as we get ready for the home stretch.
5 kills between the two teams. Stella pressurizing 2 players from Optic Gaming. Pounds managed to pick up that next rocket though. He's the man to watch with how grouped up Optic are here. It might not just be 1 kill, it could be 2 if he can find his targets. Lucid changes to the barrel rifle smartly to make sure that rocket is still in his hands. This one will connect. It's bound time!
Look at this, he's shooting some bodies as well. This is a rookie on a mission here. He leads this team in KD in this tournament. It's been an unbelievable performance, a triple kill late game with incredible rocket discipline as well. They now lead 44-37.
Bound is applying so much pressure here to Optic, but maybe that was a little bit too much in that situation. 16 and 10 in this game. Number 2 is Bound, but that death has opened the door now for Optic. It's a 5-kill game.
And keep in mind, with what we've seen this series, and especially this game has been back and forth. We have seen several lead changes. Penguin somehow stays alive and might even get away with a kill here. He's surrounded by players on Optic.
I'm pretty sure that all of Optic are one-shot here. Penguin's got a challenge, but there's multiple players inside a Tram weak. Cloud9 have the chance to push. They're gonna take that opportunity. Stella cleans up one. Formal trying to scarper away, but can C9 hunt him down?
Look at this, Formal just gets around the corner. 3 kills to go here for Cloud9. It's a 7-kill lead. As things will slow down for just a second, but C9 might apply the pressure yet again.
Bound has 18 kills in a game number 2 in a World Championship final. For Optic, we've seen them already pull off an incredible Slayer comeback. They have the rockets to play with as well. Good information gathered here by Trippy. He finds one. This game's getting closer. There's Bound again. Trippy, there's a trade from Bound. It's one to go here for C9. And Penguin will tie things up.
What a response from Cloud9. In the end, clutching up after back-to-back lead changes in a wild Street Slayer. Bound goes 20 and 12 in a grand finals game 2.
This man loves the main stage. He's looking at home up there at the moment, and C9, like we mentioned, they're in the grand finals for a reason. Optic had to work hard to stay in that game. That moment though, you can target it when you've got 2 such talented teams on your main stage where the game swung. Optic had the play, they had the tools. Cloud9, the way they baited out both of those rockets, made the power weapon irrelevant, and then were able to collapse was quite simply brilliant.
Absolutely brilliant. An amazing response from the side of C9 to tie the series 1-1. And in the end, we'll take a look at some replays from that game because, my God, was it ever a fantastic game number 2 Slayer. Here's the last minute of play.
Don't to worry just for a moment here. You can see the bound thought you had enough damage to maybe just pick up another kill. But all of Optic being trapped inside a tram here towards the end, it was this damage that actually came in from Penguin as well. You see, he jumps up. He knows he's got a thrust to play with as well. I think this is the only reason he makes this play. Look how he can do damage, but he can get out of there as well.
And then this, he gets lucid, so he's buying so much time. He's even shooting trip. He shot all 4 players on Optic at this point. He gets all the damage they need.
All the damage they need. The good thing here for C9 is they managed to collapse on that damage as well. That's the difference, right? We talk about damage, which is vital. If none of that gets cleaned up, it's just a -1 for Penguin.
Right.
And Optic have an opportunity to push numbers elsewhere on the map.
In the end, great control from Cloud9, and we gotta say, as we have a second here, to talk about what just transpired in that match during the Optic Gaming listen-in. How many times did you see Cloud9 players get away without trading? There were at least 5 or 6 examples on screen, and you and I looked at each other, we said, my God, the teamwork here. It was almost perfect late game composure, but look at this Bound trade. Once again, Bound will trade here in the back of A. That's huge to bring them to 49.
Yeah, that double kill for Bound. I mean, every single time we seem to see Bound in the kill feed, it's a double kill. A lot of the time, he's so quick at cleaning up one and then immediately turning his attention somewhere else on the map to put influential damage down to help out Cloud9 in those numbers situations. Speaking of numbers, it's 1-1 now in our grand finals, and we head over to Livefire for a little bit of King of the Hill.
And let's not forget, that loss there for Optic Gaming is only their second. Cloud9 have only issued Optic's second loss. It will be in Street Slayer. Optic was undefeated, of course, in that game type. Cloud9 had been 1-1. So to bounce back in that game type with great late game composure, pretty huge as we set our sights on King of the Hill on Livefire.
We do, indeed. This is an interesting one. King of the Hill as a game type, I feel like as we've seen Cloud9 beat Optic in that final in Orlando, right? Yes, it was recharged, but it was the way they won it as well. It was such a devastating win. It was 4-0, and it looked like Optic were just completely played off the park. However, we have also seen C9 bleed a little bit. We take ourselves back to the game against Native Red, where it went down to that last overtime hill. Some crazy stuff is still to come, not just in this series, but maybe in this next game as we take a look at 2 key players on either side.
Key players, absolutely. Formal and Penguin on your screen. This is their King of the Hill specific Halo World Championship stats this weekend. Formal at a huge 1.30 kills per death. And also big damage here coming out of both players here, both in the 6,000 club.
If there's one player you probably want in a control-based game type, where you're holding down angles, you're setting things up. I mean, this guy's been doing it for 10+ years on different titles, right? Whether it's on a head glitch, whether it's on top of the pit, it doesn't matter. Wherever it is, this man knows how to hold down those angles, but the same can be said about Penguin as well. The damage output from this man cannot be matched by many.
I mean, especially we talked about it earlier on the desk, but his stats in Orlando were absolutely nuts. Even in a grand final that they lost, he had the highest assists in the entire tournament, and he was dealing so much damage. It's a very different story, though, here in Seattle. Let's not forget, Penguin was actually the kill leader coming into the day before Bound took that lead. So Penguin and Bound both dealing absolute damage, but the man on the closest part of your screen here, Bound, 20-12 in a game that they win by 5. That's a big momentum boost.
It certainly is, and I think the point that you're raising there is really vital to kind of elaborate on as well. The fact that responsibility of both kills, deaths, assists, objective is being shared now by all of Cloud9. It matches what Optic do so well, right? Whenever we look at damage stats, whenever we look at KDs, assists, whatever it is, there's always like a little bit of, you know, Lucid's usually got a few more kills, let's be real, but it's usually pretty even across the board for Optic. Everyone is comfortable doing every single role, and at this level, in a World Championship final, you need to be comfortable doing whatever it takes to win.
Absolutely, and you heard him say it in Orlando, and you might have caught it in the process as well, the Optic documentary series. There's one more job to do, and it has already proved to be a difficult one. These two teams tied 1-1 as we head into game number 3. It's going to be King of the Hill on Livefire.
Chance maybe for Optic Gaming to go into the lead, or for C9 to start casting some doubt towards the green wall. King of the Hill first to capture 4 hills, or before that time expires, is where we're going to find ourselves. Now, Livefire at the start of this game was an Optic haven. It was their home ground. You kind of almost had the posters of Optic Gaming up on the wall the way they played this. They never lost this map. That has changed slightly. Can Cloud9 change that narrative once more?
That is the question. Both of these teams also undefeated in this game type series. Is all tied up. Everything to play for here in the grand finals at the Halo World Championship. Starting things off with Bound.
Interesting to see what the opening strategy is here from Cloud9 as well. Oh! I mean, there's opening strategy and there's just insane individual skill, and you've just seen kind of both.
Absolutely here. That was 3 dead for Optic Gaming. Now Trippy is going to be the last player alive with the heat wave though on the key door and already starts to deal the damage. Overshield still available. And great pressure, great positioning here from Trippy in the cuts.
Trippy's just weaving through the map at the moment. He's going to come in behind Bound and find one. The kill was cleaned up from Lucid as well. That should be an overshield going into the hands of Optic Gaming. So Cloud9, they fought for it, they scraped for it, but early time was also picked up by C9. So this is a chance for Optic to break and put a hold together of their own.
They're able to get early time, but in the end, you have to think Trippy was last player alive down bottom mid key door, and somehow off of the respawns, he helps his team lock down that entire part of the map. He gets a kill on scoreboard, he goes cuts, shuts down dummies, and Optic Gaming get the overshield on the back of that heroic individual effort from Trippy.
And that's why we always talk about how important it is to make sure that last player alive dies as quickly as possible. Because he can come back and do so much damage to so many. As C9 found out, at the moment though, Formal is just locking things down. C9, they might just be about to lose this first point. Optic up by 1.
Wasting no time, Optic Gaming, even though down to an early deficit like we said, they take the advantage from the overshield and they will get the first point on the board. However, off of the back of that, C9 looks to counter. They had 3 dead for Optic.
They had 3 dead and they managed to clean the last player out of tower, but Lucid spawned just momentarily before Trippy was taken down. I'm not sure if they know they're here. They certainly do now. As Formal picks up 1, Lucid is causing problems back at the tower.
It's a heads-up play from C9. You can tell by the way the Bound checked that corner that the comms were coming in, that there's still someone here around tower. Bound and the team prioritize it. Overshield is up here.
Overshield is up. That commando is not moving from that overshield spawn. Stella trying to put pressure onto Optic as well. This is a great play coming in from one of the smartest players in the game as well to apply pressure from that key door. Use that heat wave for Trippy there to meet him, and Trippy will take him down.
Well, what a play from Trippy there. Penguin unable to help because his shields were recharging. Overshield's still up. Here goes APG. Can't get it. That's a double kill for Bound.
Trippy's still alive though, still putting pressure on. Bound is down to 0 shields. He's barely got any help, but now he has. He comes out dressed in yellow. The overshield goes to C9.
Overshield goes to C9, but it's melted right away. It was a Bound versus Trippy 1v1. Bound wins that off of positioning here. A lot of points on the board here on the second hill for C9. They still control tower, and Bound still with the heat wave.
Trippy goes into distraction though. Bound turns his attention away. Lucid with the repulsor. Will make Bound look a little bit awkward in the way that he gets that kill, but it's enough to get the job done. Now Bound is on the flank, and now he's got the heat wave. He finds 1. APG, I'm sorry, you go down 2. It's 5 in a row for Bound. He's on a killing spree.
Oh my god, a killing spree from Bound. 3 dead for Optic Gaming. You have to talk about Bound hitting the repulsor jump at that timing. Actually got him out of the sight line of Trippy checking key door there on dummy door, and then he flies back and gets the double kill. It's just brilliant movement, brilliant timing from Bound.
The man is a movement magician, and with that play and with C9 picking up the kills they required, it's 1-1 now, but Optic have rotated to this next hill. The garage, but there's an opening pierced by a sniper rifle bullet.
And you were wondering maybe if this is a different C9 than Orlando. I think C9 has already told us that they're a very different team here. All 4 dead for Optic Gaming.
What a break that is from 1 bullet, a golden bullet. Fired by Stella to get that headshot. Now attention not only turns to the hill and the break for Optic, they've got to think about that overshield as well.
First kill does go to Optic. They do have the damage in the break, but we'll see if they can convert here to even more points on the board. Uh-oh.
Sniper rifle, BR, it doesn't matter. Stella just looks absolutely locked into this series. Formal's going to be challenging. Formal can't get the stick. Stella will take him down. It should be an OS now going once again to Cloud9. Lucid picks up 1, but it's not enough pressure to keep Stella off the OS.
What an absolute flood there from Cloud9 working together. They lose 2 players. They lose 2 players, but Stellar just walks in. Bodies Trippy as well. We'll see if they can finish.
Look at the pressure coming in from Optic. Oh, it's a boxing match. The knockout blow is finally landed by Optic, but Stella went down swinging.
2 players dead here. Repulsor in the hands of Trippy. In the hill, he's going to get a little bit of recontrol here. 2 players dead for both sides, and out of that scrap, it will finally be Optic Gaming scoring it again. They trail just by a bit here on hill number 3.
Penguin flies in. The rest of cavalry from Cloud9 about to arrive top middle as well, but Trippy's ready for it. Eco picks up one. Bound last alive though. The push coming in is unsuccessful, and now we are seeing a tied time on this third hill. Brilliance from Optic on the homes.
Look at Bound stays alive for the scoreboard health. They get one, they do not get two though. Bound, by the way, 11 and 5 in this game. He is picking up where he left off.
Flame now coming in from Eco as well. APG, he's close, and now you're seeing the break again. A clean break from Cloud9, and it was just in time as well. Look how close Optic were to converting this next point.
And guess what? Once again, it's Bound. He stays alive. Last player alive on the scoreboard. He gets damage on scoreboard and damage on window, and they convert yet again. Optic is not being as efficient in the 4 dead category as we have seen them in the past.
And Eco now looking to take Lucid down. My word, that thing melts. It's 2-1 now to Cloud9. They roar back in the game, and Optic have to watch him rotate to the next hill from the death screen.
2 dead here still, off the break there. And Cloud9 is looking like they are starting to gain steam. Overshield popping in 8 seconds as well.
Scary thing here for Optic as well is the Bound is making a brilliant decision here. Pressurizing these players at the back of green, create space for Eco to pick up this overshield. If you get the overshield now, inside of that hill, there's a huge opportunity to make this 3-1. It's a desperate play coming in from Optic, but it is C9 who do get that next OS.
Look at this here. Heroic effort from APG, but still, as you say, still 2 dead for the side of Optic. Let's get into an Astro listening with Cloud9.
Good. Watch on screen. Going work there. He's on the vent. He's on the vent.
Nice, good shot, good shot.
2 dead. Keep living.
I can hold tower. I can hold tower.
Watching smaller.
Mud on me.
Okay. I'm looking over. I'm gonna look at the jump. Yo, Nest bridge. One shot. C-box. One shot. C-box. APG. And that guy Nest again.
Nest. APG's like pillars or something. Yo, tell me door now. I'll close on you. Spawn on you then. I can help you. Need your make
Elbow weak. Elbow's weak.
Make is one shot.
Dummy door and bottom tower weak. One shot bottom tower. Going top tower.
There's a lot of them.
Tire box weak. Tire box blinking. Getting his shield back.
Fuck.
He's aiming top mid. He's one mid cut. He's going down mid cut.
One shot bottom mid. One shot pillars.
One shot in hill. One shot
elbow. One shot elbow. APG.
Make a play together here.
Heals weak.
One shot. Keep living.
Bound. Yep. You're getting in the hell.
They're gonna be tower. I'm
I
gonna go
think
green
you're
one.
trying A bound. I've fallen behind you, bound.
Actually, I'm gonna go to brain.
Look at me. He's close.
Two double door.
They didn't go re-brain.
No more damage.
APG.
Yeah, one shot dummy door. And back tower.
One shot pillar. Make cut to top mid. Make cut to top mid.
I hear you. 2 guys C-boxes.
Nice job,
2 guys tower boxes.
That's one dead.
I got backspack. One shot.
Left and right. Yeah.
I'm aiming it. I'm in.
Well, back in the game then, and Penguin is the POV we're going to be watching because he's found Trippy without any shields whatsoever. C9 up 3-1 during that time, and they're inside of that next hill as well and looking strong.
Oh boy, a little ring around the rosy for Penguin. He picks up a nice kill, and the C9 fans in the building, they love to see it. By the way, Cloud9 is outslaying 56-43 at this stage in the game.
Repulsor inside of the hill as well means that he can wait for these grenades to come in, or maybe he can take to the heavens. Trippy comes in for the break zone, 1 dead per side. Bound trying to keep pressure on that hill, and while this is happening, the distraction on the hill from Bound means that Penguin can pick up yet another overshield here for Cloud9. He puts Trippy in the dirt, he's looking for more.
Nice job there. APG makes sure to prioritize that overshield player. I think Bound will clean it up. He does another double kill, and it's 3 dead yet again for Optic Gaming.
How does he do it? It's just double kill from Bound. His ability to move from step 1 to step 2 means that step 3 is complete. Here for Cloud9, they're up 2-1 in the series, and that was a scary looking performance.
Scary indeed, and maybe the scariest thing is Bound went 21-10. Wow, in that game against Optic Gaming, absolutely unbelievable. That puts him at positive 19 across the last 2 games alone.
This man wants a world championship. I'm sure that Stellar and Eco have mentioned him before. It feels pretty good to lift one of those up, and I'm sure he's desperate to do it himself. The man who was questioned as the replacement for Renegade. After a couple of games here, maybe he is not the question, maybe he's the answer.
Absolutely could be, and right now he looks to be in World Championship form after that game that we just saw. Here's a look at some of the highlights there. Optic Gaming off to an early lead, but that story changed very quick.
Brilliant movement again from Bound. You're just going to see double kill every time that you're on his POV, but also we should talk about that one sniper bullet, that one shot from Stellar that turned this hill into a C9 point. The ability to break is so difficult against a team who's set up so well like Optic. One shot with a sniper rifle, sometimes all you have to create that opening.
And even off the bat, look at that. They scored the second hill and still Cloud9 gets 4 dead on Optic off the back of that really, really great timing the entire game from Cloud9, and we can't say enough good things about Bound. It feels like every time we see him, he's got a heat wave on the dummy door, and he does it again. He goes 21 and 10 with 10 assists to boot. He's also tied for most assists on the team. That is leading in every single category in the game. Absolutely unbelievable from him.
Now we move forward, 2-1 in the favor of Cloud9. Recharge will be the next battleground for both of these teams, and it's time for a little bit of Strongholds action now. This is a fascinating game to have up next. With the pace that C9 have been playing, if Optic cannot win the opening battle, find themselves down numbers, C9 seem to be clicking. As Stella said in the listening that we had back from Orlando, it almost seems to be like it's one mind at the moment.
It's true, and it feels like C9 wants to play the game faster and faster and faster. And as we talked about earlier, Bound has found that great balance between continuous chaotic aggression and still doing damage that counts the most across the map. We're starting things off with Bound. He's positive 19 across the last 2 games.
Big moment for both teams. In this series, if C9 manage to steal away this game, it will be one more game until we reset that bracket for them. Optic, the last thing on their minds right now. They do not want to go through that.
Penguin picks up another kill on Trippy. That was a momentary 3 dead for Optic Gaming. Going to be an AC hold early on for Optic, though.
Bound's got away with the camouflage, though. You can see that there was a flood towards top A from Optic just to get early scoring in their hands. A bit of pressure is going to come in here. Formal has got the shock rifle. Bound is going to challenge. He doesn't care, but Formal matches the challenge. He accepts it and comes out on top.
Let's be honest here, Cloud9 has so far silenced Formal largely during this series. We normally see him pop it off, and maybe that's exactly what he's trying to do. Make it a double for Formal.
Sometimes you need someone to step up, and Formal said, I ain't here to lose this series. I want to gain a world championship, and now he is taking Cloud9 apart.
3 dead still for Cloud9 here. It's a trip cap, and let the points tick, tick, tick for the side of the green wall. They will continue scoring, and it's 51-0.
Full setup here as well. Bound's going to challenge once more, and he has to. He has to try and pressurize this shock rifle player. One shot missed. Means that Cloud9 have an opening now. Lucid trying to challenge. Stella picks up 2. That's 3 dead momentarily for Optic, and that is a chance now for C9 to get some control back.
And look at the opening here. It's 80-0 in favor of Optic Gaming, and Bound is 0-4. They've shut him down this game so far.
Yeah, and Stella just shooting the floor there to try and influence the spawn, blunt that pipe spawn, get everyone trapped over at C, but Optic already on the map. Optic already putting 2 players from Cloud9 in the death screen, and they're already turning P back over.
Yeah, looks like Optic is ready to play just as fast as C9 here. They will fall 2 dead, though. Maybe an opportunity for C9 to bounce back, make that 3 dead.
It's going to be 3 dead. They're going to play for B and C here. This is what Cloud9 do. All focus has to be split now from Optic. The communication has to be perfect. They're thinking, do we try and stop B? Do we try and stop C? What's the play call? The question is they can't do either. It's a trim cap now for Cloud9.
Cloud9 responding in a big way. They're trying to bring this game back, and they have camo as well. It's Optic leading 87-26. Let's get into an Astro listening with Optic Gaming.
Yo, already back here. Backside.
Very weak bottom elevator.
Back elevator, 2 of them. One camo there. Bottom elevator camo.
Make sure we're looking at the same stuff.
We're still in the lead. We're still in the lead.
Yeah, camo there, so remember that.
He should be out here like 10 seconds.
They're
gonna push gold door, Joy.
Yeah, she's backside a little bit. Backside a little bit. I'm trying to watch Joey.
Make it weak. Go half out.
We're gonna shoot Danes, careful. We have 2 guys. Double stack wing. Double stack somewhere.
I died in tower. He's going Megler pit. He was going Megler pit. They backed off, guys. They backed off.
We're in tower.
We're gonna have to hit mid. We're gonna have to hit mid here.
Somebody play bottom?
Yeah.
Nice.
Hit mid. Run mid together. Yeah, Bellish.
He's got a sniper.
Watch Bellish.
That's a big guys.
Help me. He's in gold.
They got Glass and Commando.
Glass and Commando weak.
Shot. Wow. Take your time. Air shot. Play your life now.
We spawn long hole there and see.
Hoppy.
Try to weak bound.
Yeah, we gotta push
Try to weak bound.
Push you guys here.
No one there.
Two dead guys, so one place right here.
Okay, take your time, guys.
I need help. We're already in seconds.
They're gonna spawn silo, guys. They're gonna spawn silo.
We need help.
Eco weak. One over there.
Watch cross. Top is
Yeah. They're already long haul, guys.
Tommy has got cross.
Nice.
Think tower, I'm looking at
Camo's coming in. Yeah. It might be on Camo. We're looking.
As we jump back into the game, Optic turnover A, but not before C9 turn over the scoreline. It's Cloud9 in a slender lead at this point, and I have to say, Optic's sounding a little bit flustered at times there.
Yeah, definitely. You even heard it earlier in the series as well. You heard it during that live fire game. Slow things down, slow this down. We are still in control, and C9 is certainly applying the pressure, but only an 8-point game. Optic will resume scoring now, just down by 5 points.
APG trying to be sneaky here. He knows the bound is going to try, Penguin. Gonna make a play to try and convert.
Man, why is Cloud9 the better team, huh?
Game ain't over yet, bro.
Sneaky.
This is the first two maps they lost in the whole bracket.
Almost on his own there,
Also, look at the technical work there from APG. He so well times that play.
I mean, if there's any team that I'm not surprised to see at the end, it's Cloud9 and them.
Yeah. 125 to 110. Back and forth here in game number 4.
Now the kills are starting to fall in the favor of Optic. They've fought and they've battled back into this game. Trippy with a little bit of damage onto those players over the C means that Cloud9 have to readjust the game plan.
Optic came out of grand finals or winners final, so all Optic needs to do is win one best of 7. Cloud9 needs to win 2 best of 7.
Look at Formal's numbers here. 14-7 in this game, showing up in a big way, and certainly the biggest that he's done all series long. Trades for Eco.
Sounds like a long night.
Yeah, well, I mean, hopefully it's a short night.
That'd be nice. I mean, honestly, what a freaking roster, man. Formal and Trippy, honestly, too.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Lucid
fucking
crazy, man.
14 months ago, fucking Formal was retiring in COD and wanted to stream and didn't have the desire to compete anymore and this and that. And now look at him, he's fucking 14-8, 15-8.
15.
BC still in the hands of just as the game is tied up. Formal makes a
Feel bad for Ola though, man. Fucking he literally fell off the face of the earth when he got dropped.
The next focus for both teams is up right now.
It's a lead change yet again. Cloud9 will go into a very, very narrow lead by 2 points.
That's the way it goes.
By the way, back-to-back killing sprees there just about for Penguin. He's now 11-7.
By the time you finish the sentence about the lead change, it's back into the hands of Optic Gaming. That's just about how close this is. Penguin on a killing spree at the moment with this camouflage, finds another kill as well. That should be turned back. And look at this. I love the play call from Cloud9. They say, Penguin, you've got camo, you go forward.
I'll tell you what, as good as First Descendant is, if they don't fix that frame rate before it drops,
not optimized.
yeah, they got a lot of screen tearing that they gotta fix before the copy drops.
It's gonna make things a little bit more interesting, Trippy.
But honestly, as far as the gameplay loop is concerned, oh my god, I love it. The first thing that actually feels like a Destiny competitor. Like, of course, we've had Anthem and we had shit, what was the other one? Outriders and all these others, but this is the first one that feels like good. But it's probably because there's no focus on PvP.
Who makes it?
Absolutely, Eco doesn't really care.
Nexon, who I'd never heard of them before playing
Bound
this.
picks up another one as well. That will be the opening kill.
Optic trapped in tower as well. The last 2, and here comes Bound. Doesn't need to be asked twice. Hits the slide to get from A to B as quickly as possible. It's almost a signature of this man at this point. And look at this, they just cannot stop.
Let's see what they're known for.
1v2, he's so confident the assist comes in as well. This is what he's been doing all series long. He's finally positive for the first time in this game, but they are now up.
Oh, they made Counter-Strike.
Reset comes in as well.
Oh, no shit.
Here for Cloud9,
Yep.
214.
They made Counter-Strike.
Even with Optic inside of B and C.
They made Titanfall Online. Maple Story 2. FIFA.
Oh, they did multiplayer for Titanfall 1.
Working on C as well here. Take a look here.
Yeah.
Titanfall, oh wait, Titanfall was only multiplayer, but so I guess they did Titanfall.
Yeah. Wow, that's actually a pretty good resume that they got.
Didn't know him before this series. Get to know him now.
Maple Story. Crazy Arcade. The Konosuba game? No, stop. Oh my god. The mobile game for Konosuba. But yeah, their biggest titles is definitely Counter-Strike. As far as shooters go. XIV. Isn't that 14?
What?
XIV, Roman numeral?
XIV, it's 14, yeah.
Yeah, they do Final Fantasy Reborn.
Oh, no way.
So that explains it, man. That is actually a pretty decent resume. Final Fantasy 14, Counter-Strike, and Titanfall, alongside a whole bunch of other mobile games that have, you know, hit the top of the leaderboards in their respective rights. Holy shit. I never even heard of this. Dungeon and Fighter? What the hell is that? Dungeon Fighter. What the fuck? Oh, DNF Duel. They made DNF.
We have to talk about Optic in this situation, right? Because we were talking about the story coming into this event of
that's actually crazy. DNF has a $20 billion lifetime revenue, 850 million players. Their second best is MapleStory. Why are they not counting Final Fantasy? Final Fantasy is definitely up there. Oh, because they share the publishing rights.
Let's not forget, it was all Optic all the way early on. As we said, they were outslaying C9 by 13 kills at one point.
I mean, probably because of this man, Formal. The way he started this game, I'm sure the Cloud9 were like, it was that good, the Cloud9 probably weren't that bothered by it, you know? Sometimes it's just like, yeah, he's hitting everything. There's not much we can do. We're not making bad plays. We're just getting cut down by Formal. But from this,
that guy weak, or can that headshot from that far?
One thing that C9 did extremely well was never let it get out of hand. It
was that guy weak, or can that guy just headshot from that far?
Well, I didn't see it. What play was it?
The Formal with the heavy.
One after one in the respawn screen.
Oh no, with the shock rifle? The shock rifle's a headshot. You headshot the shock rifle.
The plays from Bound at the end from Hydro to take on a 1v2.
That's crazy.
Sniper rifle.
The
same gun. Remember the clip I sent you?
Yep. Yeah.
It's the same gun.
Oh damn, Cloud9. 3 in a row.
Unmatched by many. And now, I mean, there's a story behind this map in itself.
Damn.
The only thing I think it's good is that if they can win the next Slayer, they're good on oddball streets, and they've never lost on live fire. So,
yeah, that dude's an absolute menace on live fire.
If not, I mean, then we got another best of 7. They got in the back pocket
against Native Red in that game type, so they will be very familiar with Aquarius Slayer. Just to set the table here, you will need to see Optic Gaming win the next 3 games straight in order to take the title. However, if Cloud9 wins one of those 3 games, we are going to a second best of 7, a grand finals reset.
Let me tell you, the energy in this room is starting to amp up a little bit as well. And that's what it's all about, that trophy in the middle of the stage. It's not often you get the opportunity to be in a grand final, let alone to go on and win the damn thing.
And how must Optic Gaming be feeling here? On top of the world, not only coming into the event, but undefeated coming into this series. Only dropping 1 map. Now they've dropped 3 straight here. Triple their total map deficits in a matter of a 45-minute period. But you see smiles on their faces.
I think that's important.
Yeah.
I think that's really important. We know how Optic want to respond, right? The worst thing you can do in this situation is get down on yourself. But in the battle of the main Slayers, it's the rookie who is having the series argument of his life right now.
I don't know if we've ever seen Lucid with a negative KD ever in any stat card that's been presented.
That's actually insane.
This is the first time we've seen this,
right?
And Bound is absolutely
popping off. I don't know if I've ever seen Lucid with a negative stat card.
Okay, yeah.
Holy shit.
That's this series.
It's amazing, isn't it? Like, this guy before the season started had never attended a LAN. Now he's on the main stage. Now we know what he looks like. And Optic at the moment, they know how it feels to go against him.
They certainly do. Just when they thought they might shut down Bound, right? They have a huge slaying lead in that last game. Bound is 0-4 to start the game. Maybe this is what they needed.
Forever positive.
That game positive, and they end the game on a huge spree. Even in his player cam, you could just take a look at Bound, right? Talking with the team, ready to go. They know what's at stake here.
That's pretty good.
These final 3 games, Optic will need to win 3 straight, but let's remind ourselves, they are entirely capable of doing that. They're coming into this series with 13 straight series wins.
Well, let's remember as well, even if they don't win this next game,
I got League on one
there's another 7
and Halo on
games
the
potentially
other.
in front of us. Right. A lot of Halo to be played here in Seattle before we crown a Halo World Champion. But it's time to get into a game. It's time to see a little bit more of that. It's Slayer, 50 kills to win. If Cloud9 take this game home, we reset the bracket. Optic, they need
What the fuck is going on here?
This is unbelievable here, and I think a lot of fans that have seen this tournament
50 kills to win.
Slayer. C9 lead at 3-1 at this stage in the grand final. But that's exactly what we have ahead of us here. Aquarius Slayer will be your battleground. Optic needs this game and 2 more to stay alive.
My leg.
Optic, of course, with that crazy comeback in a few moments against Native Red. Native Red have put an influence on both the teams in this game, positively and negatively. But speaking of positive and negative, there's one man who's only in the positive. You can see his stats here. 1.46. Pretty much unbelievable.
Unbelievable indeed. Here's Formal trying to go away top middle. He always gets away with the camo. Formal's able to stay alive there with the camo momentarily. He will pop that, and now 1 kill lead for Cloud9. However, Formal with the play call.
APG there to help him out as well, and I don't know how Formal managed to stay alive in that situation.
Eddie
He was the
Formal.
last member on the map for just a second for Optic. So there's just one man you can't leave alive. His name is going to be Formal. He does so much damage so consistently. Important for Cloud9 to shut him down almost immediately.
3 dead for Optic Gaming. They do just that. Lucid was your last player alive, and that will still be Cloud9 leading by just 1 kill. However, Heat Wave is in control. All 4 players of Optic Gaming are